In this episode, we're going to taste wines in Pigeon Forge and moonshine in neighboring Gatlinburg. We'll sample the local cuisine. We're gonna take the aerial tram, the scenic chairlift, the skylift to the Sky Bridge and the Sky Trail. We'll hike to Rainbow Falls. We'll see wildlife, a historic homestead, and eventually we'll cross the Great Smoky Mountains National Park onto the North Carolina side. So buckle up, because the mountains are calling. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. We're approaching my favorite area in the eastern United States. I don't care if it is northern Georgia, or West Virginia, or Shenandoah National Park, or the Pennsylvania Wilds for that matter. It is all the Appalachian Mountains to me, and today we're going to what is arguably the most famous section of this old mountain range. We are going to the Smoky Mountains, at least at first, and then we'll start working our way north, or northeast rather. But for now, here we are arriving in Sevierville, Tennessee. We have booked a sponsored stay at Sun Outdoors Pigeon Forge, technically located in Sevierville, 2 miles outside the city limits, but hey, close enough. We're going to make this our base to explore the area. I should mention, we've been here before, and I can almost guarantee we'll be here again, so we're not gonna do all the iconic things, just a few. For example, we're not doing Dollywood, or the Stampede, or the Titanic, or the Wax Museum for that matter. Maybe some other time. We found out about this free wine trail, and that's what we're gonna do first. They have all these local wineries with free tastings and even free gifts. I don't know how they make any money, but somehow they do. The first one is right here. It is called Hillside Winery. They have this nice patio here overlooking the mountains. Well, we did a free tasting and we did the dries, and I don't know how to open this door now. Here we go. And the thing is, this is part of the wine trail, and there are 5 wineries, and if you go to all 5, you get like a coffee mug. So we're gonna try to do all 5. Here we go, Apple Barn Winery. This will be the second one on that wine trail. Here we have a wine Christmas tree. Well, yeah, apparently all the wines are apple-based, but the dry ones, they have a pretty good Merlot, actually. Now let's go next door to the Apple Barn Cider Mill. I haven't really taken any video inside any of these wineries because it is usually a very intimate atmosphere. This was Illy's favorite. Coming up next is Mountain Valley Winery, and this one is in a really cool looking building, so it is promising. I guess wine bottle Christmas trees are a thing. So are lamps, apparently. Alright, they do have a very nice Cabernet Sauvignon mixed with Shiraz, so we might be back for that one. Alright, last but not least, this one is called Mill Bridge Winery, and I think we are saving the best for last. Cider Flight. I like it when they have a long bar like that. Very nice patio here, overlooking Little Pigeon River, I think. And here's a Dollywood butterfly. They are all over the place, really. Yep, this is very nice. But it is very nice that they have this free wine trail here. Let's get something to eat. Well, after much research and deliberation, we decided to come to Huck Finn's Catfish on a whim. You know I love Southern food. They have t-shirts.
So there's too much oil? All right.
Well, we're getting started with this stuff. Fried veggies and more beans. And the catfish has arrived. Oh, it's hot. Oh, there you go. That was good. That was feeling not great, but good. And that's all we're gonna do today. Tomorrow we'll continue exploring. What better way to start the day than with a pancake, and this flapjacks place seems to be a thing here in this town. Well, here we go. When in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, you have to have pancakes. So thank you, Justin, for the invitation. By the way, he's here on his wedding anniversary. We're going to Gatlinburg, and yeah, should be fun. First, let's see if we can get a car wash. In order to get to Gatlinburg, we have to drive through the entire town of Pigeon Forge, which is a good 5 miles, give or take. And this is where all the large attractions are located, including Dollywood. But Gatlinburg is more compact, more walkable, and I like that. If we were to drive past Gatlinburg, we would enter the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And here we are. Well, we've made it to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Now we're just gonna go to that Uber. No, it's not Uber, Uber, the funicular, and then we'll make our way to the other side. Okay, it's an aerial tramway. This was closed when I came here a few years ago because of wildfires, so I'm really looking forward to it. Here we have a model to scale of where we're going. All the way up there. Here we go. The tram has arrived. These tram rides are usually so scenic, and this one does not disappoint. Look at the main drag down there, and the Gatlinburg Bypass Road. Ooh, they have bears.
Bears, oh my! Meet our animal friends.
Whoa, this place is huge. I wasn't expecting this. There's even an ice skating rink.
kinds of attractions here. They have a maze, and there was the mountain coaster. I might do it later. They don't allow cameras or anything like that, but it seems like fun. They have rock climbing, and I think what we're gonna do is just the airlift for now. All right, here we go.
That looks like fun too. And here's looking back.
That's supposed to be Klingman's Dome. Right up there. Yeah, I see it. Mount LeComte. There's chimney tops. And there. And that would be Newfound Gap over there.
Such great views from up here. I really love these mountains, but whatever goes up must come down.
All right, down we go. It stopped.
This is the platform where you would get off on the way up and board the Alpine slide. And we're back at Gatlinburg. Let's take the tram back down into town and continue exploring. It is much more crowded now, so I couldn't get an open window, so we're shooting through glass. Look at that bird! And Gatlinburg is in sight once again. And here we have some nice hillside properties. Not bad. Not bad at all. And we're back at street level.
Well, what do you know? Sizzling skillet steak, roasted chicken, and handcrafted beer. Let's check out the brewery.
I'm in the mood for a steak, and there may be better choices around, but you know us and breweries. This is very nice and multi-level. We usually like to sit at the bar at places like this.
Quesadilla, garlic bread, and that's my steak.
That was delicious.
Oh, next time we'll come to this one.
Well, this is what Gatlinburg is all about. It is unapologetically a tourist trap.
It's Blind Shot Barnaby's, the world's largest mirror maze.
I gotta say something, as far as tourist traps go, it is a good one. At least it is one that I like.
What do you think of this?
Right here.
Yeah, they have all these kitschy attractions, but there's also great ambience and so many things to do, like old Smoky here. At this mall here, among a bunch of restaurants, and there's even a winery. They have live music and moonshine tastings, so what could possibly go wrong? I think the band is getting ready to start the next set. just love bluegrass. Old Smoky here is the most famous one, but I think we're going to do our tastings someplace else. And what have we got here? I'd say this is a little disturbing, don't you think? Onward. Believe it or not, I've never been to Ripley's. One of these days. One of these days.
Here we are. We're gonna try this Sugar Lands because old Smoky was like, they were so disorganized in there.
Yeah, sometimes you have to give the competition a chance, and this seems to be almost exactly the same. Minus the bluegrass music, but hey, it's almost too much. I mean, they are tiny, but they add up. And they are also sweet, so they creep up on you.
Alright, that was a fabulous tasting. And it's not because we just had 11, shots. They were like this tiny.
We're getting on another lift, and this one goes up to the Gatlinburg Sky Bridge.
Here we are, going up the mountain. And yeah, the views from the top are going to be spectacular, aren't they?
And we're almost at the top.
Let's go! Raise it up.
Yep.
Would you like a hammer, man?
Alright, man. Thank you.
Have a great night, guys.
Should we go that way or this way? Let's go this way. Look at that.
Oh, what a view, what a view. This place is fantastic.
We just got a few more flights of stairs to go. And then we'll be up on the bridge. No running, jumping, or bouncing. What's the fun in that?
This happens to be the longest pedestrian bridge in North America, spanning almost 700 feet, longer than 2 football fields.
Too bad we can't jump up and down on this thing. Which, by the way, it seems to be brand new. I think they rebuilt this after the big fire of like a few years ago. There's a transparent part in the middle there, missing. Oh no, look at that. Check that out.
Yeah, spectacular views of the town down below. Let's get to the other side.
Oh yeah, this was pricey, but I think definitely worth the price of admission. It was like 35 bucks each. The views are, I mean, and it moves more than I feel comfortable with. We have some flower art. Here once again we get to see Klingman's Dome. Here we go again. Woo. There we go.
Check it out. That's the Ober-Gatlinburg tram. Here's the concession. Very nice. Let's get something to drink.
Let's do the Sky Trail here real quick.
The Tulip Tower. Let's see what this is. It looks kind of strange, if you ask me.
Well, this one moves even more.
Oh, it's talking about the 2016 fire. It was really bad. This whole area was ablaze. Let's see the view from the top.
Well, what goes up must go back down.
I think that tower used to be a big attraction, but I've never seen anyone up there. Here we are, soaring over the Cliff Branch River. And we're back at the lower level. I think now we're just gonna walk around the main strip here for a little bit, taking the sights and call it a fun day.
Well, I just got a double large espresso. $8. This better like really wake me up. We were gonna do this Anarchista, but maybe we'll save it for next time.
Yeah, you can't do everything on one trip. It gives you an excuse to come back.
It's hot. At this point we need some frozen hydration, and it's a lemonade tea smoothie or something like that. We keep going uphill. Oh man, this is... How many grams of sugar you think there's in this store right here? Believe it or not, it's a bowl. This is the sign that you would take a picture with. Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Next, we're gonna take this 5.5-mile, one-lane road called Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. It is supposed to be a beautiful drive, and there might be wildlife. It is a pretty busy road. Oh no, I believe we might have a wildlife traffic jam. What do we have here? A black bear, just hanging out on the side of the road. This traffic jam right here is for the Rainbow Falls Trailhead, which I'm going to do first thing tomorrow morning. And what do we have here? A turkey. Can't wait for Thanksgiving. Oh, there's 2 of them. Even better. Well, goodbye, turkeys.
Let's investigate. Let's see what this is.
This is the Ephraim Bales Homestead, one of several historic structures on the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. Here, Bales, his wife, and 9 children lived crammed into what is known as a dog trot cabin. 2 cabins placed side by side with a space in between and a common roof connecting them together. The family lived here from around 1890 until the government purchased the land in 1930 to make it part of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. They farmed 30 out of the 70 acres in the property. Let me tell you, it must have been a harsh, isolated life out here, living off the land here in the mountains. Tell you what, it would be really cool if there was free boondocking around here, but it being a national park, I seriously doubt it. I think we've had enough fun for one day. Now let's return to Sun Outdoors Pigeon Forge and we're gonna call it a night. Tomorrow we're going for a hike. Good morning. Today we're going on a hike. And it's just not any hike. It's supposed to be one of the top hikes in the entire Smoky Mountains National Park. So I think we come prepared. I'm going to be using this little device for the first time. It's a Garmin GPS tracker. And if there's an emergency, there's a button I can press. And you know, I can send text messages, I can send my location. So it's a good thing to have when you're in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully it'll work, even if we don't have a clear view of the sky. We'll soon find out. For now, it's about half an hour drive to the trailhead, so I'll see you there. Here we are, back at the Roaring Fork Road, and the turkeys are still here. And we've made it to the trailhead. Let's see if we can find parking. Here we are.
Okay, here we are at the trailhead. Rainbow Falls Trail. Trillium Gap Trail, 0.1 miles. I guess that's the main trail. And then Rainbow Falls, 2.7. Mount LeConte, 6.6. We're not going to do Mount LeConte today, but maybe one of these days. and we have to be bear aware, of course. And the trail is supposed to be moderate, but a lot of people have said online that it's a lot more strenuous than what the sign or the reviews would suggest. So we'll take that. And I mean, it's early, it's temperature, it's fine, it's probably in the 60s, and I've got plenty of water, I've got food, I've got everything. So here we go, Rainbow Falls Trail. There's a little spur here going to the creek. Let's check it out real quick.
Wow, this is beautiful. There's even a waterfall. Actually, more like a dam created by that log. We keep going up and up and up on these switchbacks. It is a beautiful, if a little strenuous trail, often going right next to LeConte Creek.
It's beautiful out here. As I say, just another walk in the woods. It's getting, yeah, it's a little strange, let me tell you. We're not even 1 mile in and I'm already feeling it. But I'm confident that I'm gonna be able to do the whole thing. Okay, we're almost a mile in and there's supposed to be a scenic overlook here coming up soon. Okay, half an hour, 1 mile. That's not bad actually. Just a little bit of a view there. The overlook must be coming up ahead.
Apparently that was the so-called overlook.
I was looking at the old trails map, and apparently what we saw back there, that was the overlook. So, I mean, we're in the Smokies. It's a lot of trees, very old mountain range here. So, the chances for like those, you know, wide open views are far in between. We'll continue pushing up. It's been relentlessly up with a few of these flatter sections, but it's been up and up and up, which can only mean that the return trip is gonna be down and down and down, right?
We've got all these white petals on the ground. Cool. Another waterfall.
So far, a pretty good hike. Sometimes you get rewarded by little glimpses of waterfalls here and there, and a little more solitary than I was expecting. It's supposed to be a very trafficked trail. I mean, it's pretty long, but yeah, there is a couple about 100 yards in front of me, and I just saw a young man pass me, you know, coming back. Granted, it's early, so most people are probably still on their way up. You see? Rapids, waterfalls, it's very nice. Okay, according to all trails here, we just passed the bridge crossing, which is the number 2 point of interest, and number 3 first falls, so we should be close to the first falls. Maybe I'm a little out of shape, huh? Maybe, just a tad. Gotta start doing this more often. Taking a quick break here. There it is. I see it.
Yeah, this is actually First Falls.
Onward we go. By the way, I wanted to let you know we had cell phone signal throughout the first half of the trail, but now there's nothing. So I'm glad I bought this little device. Although, I mean, hopefully we won't need to use it. Actually, I just texted Illy just to see if it worked. Yeah, this is the view right here. Quite a sight, quite amazing. I'm so glad I decided to do this hike. Such a rewarding experience, you know, the culmination of it. Now we have, I mean, the trail keeps on going to the top of the mountain, but now we have nowhere to go but down. Wait till they see the second waterfall. I think this is what they meant by overlook, just this little bit of a view from the trail. These rocks.
Yeah, this is the only scenic view from the whole trail. Little known fact, expansive commanding views are not so common in the Smokies.
Oh yeah, that certainly seems to be the overlook that the app was talking about. In fact, let's check it out. That's it, overlook. It's basically the one, scenic overlook in the whole trail. I mean, there are several other, but not as scenic as this one. We've got flowers blooming and everything's so green. I mean, there's no doubt, early spring where we are right now. I mean, we're actually mid-May, so that's almost mid-spring at this point. It's definitely one of the best times of the year to be here. There are a few bugs, but not too many. Not enough to be bugging me too much. And I do have bug spray just in case, but I haven't needed it. I also did come with bear spray, and this GPS, the little device, the jury's still out. I was able to get a message out, but I wasn't able to get a reply. Maybe you need a clearer view of the sky, and right now, as you can see, we have plenty of trees. All right, let's continue. Down and down we go. I don't recall this view on the way up. Did I go off trail? By the way, right now, lots of people on this trail. Well, we have conquered Rainbow Falls. Here's the parking lot. Well, it's a full parking lot now at 11:30 a.m. I was gonna do Grotto Falls too, but I think this was enough hiking for one day, especially after not hiking for such a long time. So just gonna go back to the campground, get a little bit of work done, and that's it.
I think we may have a wildlife sighting here.
Check it out.
I know. We got one.
Yeah. Stop the sound.
I think I earned this one. Cheers.
So I have pre-soaked some white beans and I have some Spanish chorizo sausage that first I'm going to remove the casing and then slice it, and we are going to saute it in the Instant Pot so it releases that delicious pork fat seasoned with paprika. I'm gonna chop an onion and some green pepper. Look at the paprika color on those onions. And now the green peppers. Now some garlic, and I would normally mince them myself, but I don't have any, so this will have to do. Oregano, cumin, 1 bay leaf, some salted pork. We may not have enough room for everything in this Instant Pot. Let's add the beans and see if everything fits. We may have to add more salt after it's cooked, but that pork and sausage are pretty salty already. We're gonna fill up the rest with water and voila! This is gonna come out so good. 1 hour of pressure should be enough. I'm gonna chop some carrots while it cooks, and an hour later, let's add some salt. Move it around, look for the 3 bones and get rid of them. I wish you could smell this. In fact, let's give it the taste test. Actually, we need to make some room for the carrots. I was gonna add some potatoes as well, but they went bad, so this is it. Another 20 minutes or so and we are eating.
I mean, they came out great, if I may say so myself.
The adventure continues.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, because I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, because I'm free in my RV. Driving the pavement, rushing under the tires, a different time zone. You know I'm gonna get higher, 'cause I'm on fire. Riding.
Well, we're crossing the Appalachians through US 441 here, which goes through the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I don't think we're gonna stop anywhere. It's just a nice drive, you know, going up and down the mountains, you know, traversing the park. We might stop at Newfound Gap, which is like the border between Tennessee and North Carolina, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, tonight, somewhere remote, we're gonna boondock. We'll see the Milky Way or a shooting star if we're in luck. Oh, this is glamping, yeah. You know, it is the way that we like to roll. And making memories out here is what nurtures my soul. Yes, I am riding, yeah, riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah.
Here we are, Newfound Gap, and miraculously we have found parking. This is probably the busiest spot in the whole park.
Well, once again, we are here and we were actually able to park right behind the North Carolina-Tennessee state line sign. This sidewalk I'm walking on right now is actually the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail that goes all the way from Springer Mountain in Georgia to Mount Katahdin in Maine. And just for fun, let's walk on a small segment of the Appalachian Trail. As you know, I've done a couple of sections, and at some point I would love to do a much longer section of the AT, maybe a 1 or 2 day hike, but who knows. But yeah, this is it, and these people in front of me walking. They are either through hikers or section hikers of the Appalachian Trail. This is one of the iconic spots of the AT, as you can see. And as you can see, Katahdin, Maine, 1,972 miles. So sure, why not? I'm just gonna walk a couple of feet here on the AT. We don't have the time today to spend too much time here, as you know. We're going to visit our friends Bob and Sue in Waynesville. But, you know, a little bit of the AT, just symbolically and for fun. And as you know, the AT, the way you know you are on the AT, which stands for Appalachian Trail, are these white blazes. I do believe if you see blue blazes, those are like spur trails going to different towns. And they have another color. You know, at some point I wanted to do the whole thing, and I did read a lot of books about the Appalachian Trail. And here we have once again those expansive views of the Smoky Mountains. It's quite wonderful.
'Cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. Because I'm free in my RV, yeah. Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV, riding.
On the next one, destination Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. But first, we're gonna visit friends in Waynesville, and then we'll continue on our mountainous journey. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
I'm riding in my